you want to travel the world but you have a tight budget? Do you want to visit an exotic destination but you don't know how to pick which one? I'm Cody Maxwell, and my mission is to visit every city I can and figure out which ones are worth your time and effort. You could travel light and see the world inexpensively. This is Maxwell's Kitchen Eurotrip.
In Italian, it is said as Capri.
No name and no passport, no identity to transport, no nation, no conversation. Where do you belong? No name and no passport, no, nobody waits for you to know more. Nobody waits in this underground airport. Where do you belong? I said ain't gonna let nobody turn you around, no, turn you around, no, turn you around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn you around, no, where do you belong? I said ain't gonna let.
Capri is an island located in the Tyrrhenian Sea on the south side of the Gulf of Naples. It has a population of 12,903 and has been a resort since the time of the Roman Republic. It has also been called the Island of Love, beginning in 27 AD when Roman Emperor Tiberius built a palace, Villa Jovis, in the northeastern part of the island. Roman historian Tacitus claimed the walls of the imperial palace were awash with pornographic imagery, and Tiberius would command young boys to perform threesomes in front of him, as well as hold scandalous orgies. Prior to the First World War, the island became extremely popular with wealthy gay men due to their tolerance of homosexuality. Many artists, poets, and authors owned villas there, and Friedrich Alfred Krupp, the German industrialist, after being accused of holding homosexual orgies, eventually committed suicide. Oscar Wilde spent some time there with Lord Alfred Douglas. And later in the 20th century, Audrey Hepburn and Grace Kelly spent time on the island, and it was home to Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton's famous love affair. Nowadays, you might see Beyonce, Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, Rihanna, or Leonardo DiCaprio with their yacht out there in the Marina Grande. And you know what? This is where capri pants rose to popularity in the late 1950s and early 1960s, thanks to Brigitte Bardot, Marilyn Monroe, and the character played by Mary Tyler Moore on The Dick Van Dyke Show. To get to Capri, you have to take a ferry, and the simplest way to do so is from the port of Naples. As the ferry rolls up into Marina Grande, it is quickly obvious why this place is so popular. It's one of the most stunning destinations you can imagine, and any picture or video just doesn't do it justice. In the summer months, it is extremely busy. Some 80% of the people on the island at any given time are tourists, and they won't even let you drive a car. When you get off the boat, you can walk about 100 yards or so and check your bag into this spot, and they'll watch it for €4. If you want to go up the hill to the town of Capri, you can get a taxi or a shuttle bus, as well as ride the funicular, which is a cable railway that ascends the mountain. If you're feeling adventurous, you can walk. Near the port entrance, there's a path called the Via Trulio, which climbs up the mountain via narrow pathways and steps. I actually didn't know about it until I started walking it. Along the way, you pass people's houses and restaurants, and nothing is symmetrical. In a lot of ways, it reminded me of walking through Venice. At the top, you appear at Piazza Umberto. In the square, you can do some people watching, eat at a restaurant, or walk up to the edge and view the spectacular scene below that is Marina Grande. And from that central location are a number of restaurants and shops. And if you walk just a few feet down, you can see Ristorante Pizzeria Longano. Inside, you can get water for €4 and a Quattro Stagioni pizza for €16. And I always take video of the restrooms that I go into just because they're so different in Europe. And you can see inside this restaurant, the toilet doesn't have a seat, and it's got one of those little foot pedals when you're washing your hands to get the water to come out. Honestly, I dipped into this restaurant because it was pouring rain. I may have spent more time trying to find something different, but I just didn't want to get soaked because I wasn't spending the night there in Capri. Don't get me wrong, the pizza was good, but I probably would have spent more time trying to find something else. You could probably spend a year up here walking around and looking at everything. It's all so beautiful. And you imagine all the Italian people that have been living here for centuries, working on their house, fixing the road, fixing the walkways, and cultivating the gorgeous flowers that are everywhere. Every turn is so photogenic, you can take a picture of anything and feel like it's the best picture you've ever taken. Every part of the island is breathtaking. And the island had some of the more expensive hotel options that I've seen, but I probably would have stayed here if I didn't have plans to leave the next day. I had a flight from Naples early the next morning at 6 a.m., and the city of Napoli does not have a train that connects to the airport, which for a European city is wild. So not wanting to deal with trying to find a taxi or something that early in the morning, I decided to get as close as I could to the airport. You could take the ferry from Capri back to the port of Naples, and from there they have a pretty cool shuttle system. You can take the Alibus for €5 back to the airport. Naples Airport is tiny, and I considered spending the night there, but they closed down from like midnight to 4. If you are willing, there's a place, seriously about like 200 feet from the entrance of the Napoli airport called BenBo Capsule Hotel. You can rent a pod for €44 a night. I'll tell you right now, it's weird. I would not choose this again unless it was this convenient. It seems super futuristic and dystopic. You get a key card that opens your door, and all you have inside there is a mattress that's smaller than a twin, just barely big enough for your body. A TV on the wall that they tell you not to use. The walls are so thin and there's so many pods in this area, they don't want you keeping anyone awake. They have communal showers that were not great. Shower head was broken, and I had to rent a towel for €1. I felt like those guys in Tokyo that rent those little 30 square foot apartments. Sleeping is challenging in these, but when you wake up, you only have to walk for 5 minutes to get to the front door of Napoli Airport. And if you roll up this early in the morning, you might see people sleeping out front on the grass. So while I cannot recommend the dirty, dirty chaos of Naples, it's a great place to sleep if you got an early flight. And I can recommend Capri. It doesn't feel like a real place. It feels like some dream sequence in a movie. It's warm, beautiful, full of life, radiant, colorful, and incredibly breathtaking. Capri gets 5 stars.
He spoke about a man who worked the sickle with his hand.